Hello, everyone. I think it's time for us to start. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A very warm welcome to the AIB webinar on the AIB-CIBER Doctoral Academy. I'm Hanna Gajewska-De Mattos. I'm an associate professor in international management at the University of Leeds, and I serve on the governing board of the AIB-CIBER Doctoral Academy. I'm joined here by the esteemed panelists, Professor Sumit Kundu, Professor Maria Tereza Fleury, and Professor Chris Pitelis. I will say more about the esteemed panelists shortly. For now, I will just mention that all of them are also serving on the governing board of the Doctoral Academy. I will be moderating this session, and then we will hear from our esteemed panelists shortly. But before we do so, let me tell you a few words about the Doctoral Academy. This is a very exciting initiative of the Academy of International Business, which is a premier association of academics in the discipline of international business. And it is a partnership between the Academy of International Business and the 8 CIBERs. And CIBERs are Centers for International Business Education and Research. And our specific partner institutions, the CIBERs with whom we are working with, are College of Business at Florida International University, Texas A&M University, Georgia State University, the University of Colorado Denver's Institute for International Business, Michigan State University, Loyola Marymount University, Temple University, and last but not least, the Whitmore Global Business Center. So these are the 8 CIBERs who are partner institutions in the Doctoral Academy. And I am also very proud to represent the University of Leeds together with Professor Chris Pitelis. We are also a partner institution in this global training, doctoral training initiative. So let me just say a few words about the Doctoral Academy. It is a unique training program for doctoral students. It's a unique opportunity for your professional and personal development, and it has been designed, it is aimed to supplement your doctoral studies. And an interesting aspect of this particular training program is that it is aimed at both international business doctoral students, but also students in any other business area. So you don't need to be international business doctoral student to be able to apply to the Doctoral Academy. The doctoral students are encouraged to apply to this program to acquire their global competence, and they can do so, you can do so, alongside your studies. The program is mostly online. There are some in-person sessions, but mostly the program is online. And it is delivered by world-class international business scholars. What's also interesting about this program is a fact that you will be learning about international business as a discipline, and the panelists will tell us more about the substance of the program, the structure of the program. But I just want to mention in general that you will be learning about international business, but also you will be learning about teaching, acquiring teaching skills, networking skills, and also there will be aspects of personal development. There will be opportunity to work with top scholars in international business, opportunity to network with other international students who will be taking part, and also an opportunity to network with students who have already graduated, who have already acquired their doctorate. And this is through the mentoring scheme, whereas the students, the award-winning doctoral students are matched with the current students enrolled in the Doctoral Academy. So this is in short, a short introduction to the Academy. You will hear more about it from our panelists shortly, but I just want to share with you that we have actually welcomed our very first cohort of doctoral students this November. We had an inaugural meeting a few weeks ago, and it was an excellent occasion. It was attended by all, or most of all, our board members, including my colleagues who are present here. And just to give you a flavor of how international our cohort is, we've got students from Cardiff University in Wales, Georgia State University, Liberty University, Michigan State University, Temple, Texas Tech, University of Alabama, University of Leeds, of course, University of Malaya, University of North Alabama, University of Pavia, University of Pretoria, and University of St. Gallen. So it's an excellent international group of students, very motivated. We have very much enjoyed meeting them and interacting with them, and we are very much looking forward with working with them. So obviously we've got our first cohort, and now is the time to open our doors for the next cohort of doctoral students. And this is precisely what we are going to be talking about in this webinar. So we will talk you through what is the Doctoral Academy about, what is the structure of the program, what is the value for you, how we see the value as international business educators. And you will also find out how you can actually practically apply to the program. So this is by the way of my introduction. And now I'm thrilled to be able to introduce properly our panelists in this session. So our first panelist is Professor Maria Tereza Fleury. Maria is a full professor of international management at Fundação Getulio Vargas in São Paulo in Brazil. She is the director of the Center for International Competitiveness. She's the fellow of Academy of International Business, and she is our past president of the Academy of International Business. Maria Tereza, a very warm welcome to the webinar. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you, Hanna. So good morning, everyone. Bom dia from Brazil. A little bit far away, I suppose. So I think that Hanna has given all the crucial information that you need, but we'll try to complement Hanna's information. Why could you please share with us the first slide, Hanna, please?
Okay.
So as Hanna mentioned, I am a professor of international business in Brazil, and I would like to share with you some information about the AIB Doctoral Academy and why to choose this program. I think that one of the most important issues is that you can complement your PhD formation with this program. And, you know, from my personal experience, I was trained as a sociologist. I went to study in the US at Stanford, but I really started, and I was in organizational studies and strategy, international strategy. But I really started, you know, my personal skills in AIB, in IB, doing research, learning with some professors, some scholars. Now you have this opportunity to complement your education with this program. You will have a unique access to the global network. Of course, you know students from your own country, from your network, but you will enlarge and you will work together, you will face the same challenges, and you will share your experience. You are going to make friends for life. And it's always really important, really relevant to change your mindset, to bridge local with global. And I believe that AIB-CIBER Doctoral Academy will provide you with those opportunities. Next slides, please, Hanna. So some very quick facts about the AIB-CIBER Doctoral Academy. It is an initiative from the AIB, Academy of International Business. It was started in 2022, and it was launched last year, 23, in Warsaw in our annual conference. It has a duration of 2 years, and it is an online program with a few meetings face-to-face. And you will have a certificate of completion, and we have some admission requirements. You have to be currently enrolled in a PhD program. You have to have skills in written and spoken English, and you have really to commit yourself to this formal training. Next slide, please. You may be asking how much it will be. It will be $3,000 for 2 years program, but we have some stamps, and we have a very generous endowment from the Baldwin Foundation. Marilyn Baldwin gave us this resource. So this is quite a unique opportunity to join the program. I would like to emphasize all those skills and competence that Hanna mentioned before. You will really involve as a researcher, learning with top scholars about theory, methodology, but you also practice regarding teaching and sending papers and trying to publish, as you will be a future researcher. I think that most of you have already started. And you will enlarge your mindset. You will be a real, true global citizen. And I think this is one of the biggest advantage of dedicating yourself to international business. So welcome, and we are really excited to have this opportunity to share, our knowledge and even our passion for this initiative. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Maria Tereza, for this enthusiastic outline, for enthusiastic introduction to the Doctoral Academy. Now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Professor Sumit Kundu. Professor Sumit Kundu is a tenured full professor at the James K. Button Eminent Scholar Chair in International Business in the College of Business at Florida International University in Miami in the US. And he's the Associate Dean for International Affairs and Director for the Center of International Business Education and Research, CIBER, in the College of Business at Florida International University. Sumit is also Fellow of the Academy of International Business, as well as Fellow of the British Academy of Management, Peer Review College, and a Fellow of the Indian Academy of Management. Very warm welcome, Sumit. And over to you now to give us your impressions about the Doctoral Academy.
Thank you, Hanna. Thank you. Good morning to you all, and greetings from Miami, Florida, US. I'm Dr. Sumit Kundu. It is an honor and privilege to serve in this AIB-CIBER Doctoral Academy. And I'm very proud to be associated with this. We believe in international business research and education as exemplified by a center of excellence called CIBER. And there are 16 centers of excellence in the United States of America. The only one in Florida is FIU. And just to give you a little brief, that we are the fifth largest public university in the United States and the largest business school in the state of Florida. Now, having said that, I have always believed that international business is a dynamic, very vibrant field. And over the years, many years ago now, I was the privilege to have my mentor as John Dunning. I was John's one of the earlier students, at Rutgers University, where I got my PhD. And I think this is a unique opportunity for you all, to be associated with this AIB-CIBER Doctoral Academy, because you get to hear from the leading scholars in the field. And as you know, international business is an interdisciplinary field. Though its roots has been in economics, but over the years, we have already delved into other areas, namely, psychology, and economic geography and sociology and international relations, anthropology, so many areas, So I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun for you to join this academy and get to hear from the distinguished scholars and panelists, who have a tremendous research track record. They are published in all leading journals. A leading journal in the field is called JIBS, Journal of International Business Studies, which is a publication, the premier publication of the Academy of International Business. So I think, this is something which will be something, very unique for you. Given your background, whether you have a background in finance or marketing or management, whatever be your background, I think this complements. And this will add value to what you are studying. And of course, we are in a stage where we always have believed in globalization. And I think this is a great initiative on your part to complement your academic background, coming from whatever background you have, whether finance or accounting or marketing or management, and to complement that with international business would be a great addition. It is the hope and aspiration for every doctoral student, to publish in top-tier journals. And here we have ecosystem of many IB journals, and I think that will be, shared by some of the panelists out here today. So I think, by joining this, you get to hear and get to know, and also to participate in the annual meetings, whether at the Academy of International Business next year in Seoul, South Korea, or at the European International Business Academy this year in Lisbon, Portugal. I think this is a unique opportunity for you all to understand what is happening out there. And the vibrancy of this academy is tremendous. I can attest to that. My first AIB was in 1987. When John Dunning was the president of the AIB in Chicago. And I'm a diehard, true loyalist of AIB. I've attended AIB, for 30 years. Of course, since they kept a track record for the past 20 years or so, since the AIB moved to Michigan State. So I'm delighted, and I want to get to know you all, and hopefully our paths will cross. I hope I have opportunity to teach this program. Normally, I teach here at FIU for many years the theory of IB, because John Dunning was my advisor, so that was my strength and my forte. So welcome aboard, and I look forward to getting to know you all. And of course, in the next few minutes, I will share the program overview with you all. Thank you, Hanna.
Thank you, Sumit, for this great overview. And it was really nice to hear your recollections also of your very first conference. You know, I'm sure it must have been lovely memories to be able to interact with John Dunning, who obviously was a giant of our field, sadly not with us anymore. But of course, everyone who studies international business would have heard about Professor John Dunning and his work. So thank you for sharing this. And you have just shown us by this example that, you know, attending conferences and networking with other researchers creates lovely memories in addition to helping your professional development, developing your career. But these are fond memories that you can cherish over many years to come. So hopefully you will embrace these opportunities as well. Thank you so much, Sumit. And now over to Professor Chris Pitelis. Chris is the head of Department of International Business at the University of Leeds, and he's a professor of international business and sustainable competitiveness at Leeds University. Chris is also the AIB Fellow, and he is a Life Fellow of Queen's College, University, Cambridge. Very warm welcome, Chris. And now over to you. What is your take on the Doctoral Academy?
Thank you, Hanna. Thank you very much. Good day to everybody. As we were saying before, this the webinar has started. This is a historical initiative, and we will be very proud that we have been part of it. There are several reasons for this. I mean, much of what I wanted to say has been covered, but I will also share some stories and some suggestions and some ideas, and focusing on the positives and the value added of the program. I mean, like Sumit, I had started my career through John Dunning, because I was working on the theory of the multinational firm. And at some stage, John Dunning, who was a member, an advisory board member of a center I was running at Cambridge, the Center for International Business and Management, said to me, Chris, would you know that we are doing exactly the same things in international business? And I said, no, I did not know. What is this? And then he said, why don't you come to a conference? And at that time, the conference was in Mexico, in Monterrey, and I went to Mexico, Monterrey, and it was John and other people. In the first instance, it looked to me very interdisciplinary, and in one sense, I might say a bit all over the place. So, and when I joined, I realized that many people, several people felt like this, and also some people felt that because IB is multidisciplinary, and because every business today is international, in one sense, IB should be part of another subdiscipline, like, let's say, strategic management. But using my background, which was in economics and the theory of the multinational firm, which had started at the time with Stephen Heimer 63 years ago, and then the work of John Dunning, which actually preceded Stephen Heimer's, but Heimer has dealt with the issue of why multinational companies undertake foreign direct investment across border, a very specific issue that subsequently was called the nature of the firm. To cut a long story short, I came to the conclusion that IB has actually made a very significant disciplinary contribution before strategic management. It actually preceded the strategic management approach to the theory of the firm, of the domestic firm. And it went even further, and in short, but it was able to do this exactly because the global focus posed issues and challenges which are not posed if you look only within discipline or within the domestic context. There are several aspects of it. We call them liability of foreigners, we call them institutional voids, we call them managing subsidiaries cross-border, where basically the role of the sovereign states, where you are focusing therefore politics, therefore geopolitics become hugely important issues, and these issues do not appear if you are only focusing on a domestic context. In this sense, I realized that in one sense, there was nothing more important than IB. And over time, that was solidified because the way things are moving now, where with artificial intelligence and with all of these things, all of these developments, every single disciplinary issue is covered by artificial intelligence. And if we have a competitive advantage as human beings, is synthesizing this knowledge, integrating this knowledge, and being able to have the bigger picture, which bigger picture it will take years. It may well happen, but it will take many more years for artificial intelligence to catch up with. All considered, we really are ahead of the game. Hence, the practical implication and the benefit of the certificate would be exactly like that you will have something which is ahead of the game. And in addition to this is the fact that the network, all of these people who will be taking this are basically the leaders of the future. We are, relatively speaking, I mean, Sumit may look like a youngster, and the same with Hanna, but we are getting on a bit, all of us, and basically we need the new generation, which will actually build upon all of these developments and whatever it is. And the network of the people who are taking this course, I am convinced, will be the IB leaders of the future, with influence across not just IB, but also the several other sub-disciplines, because you see from the program that it is designed with an IB background to give you all the linkages with the other sub-disciplines in a way that, frankly, it will be a huge competitive advantage going forward. The only final thing I want to say is that the legacy of IB has another thing that very few other sub-disciplines had, and this is basically a focus on sustainability. I remember when I was teaching at Cambridge our MBAs, and I was teaching them a paper published in the American Economic Review by Stephen Heimer. People were crying. It's the first time and the last time I saw MBAs crying. And why that was the case? Because Stephen Heimer was the first person among the very first people to say that multinationals are doing many great things, but they can also have some disadvantages in terms of gender, race, and several other divisions, intra-societal divisions that may undermine sustainability, and sustainability should be a core focus of IB. And now, only 2 years ago, especially with the new leadership of GIBS, the focus of IB has gone back to sustainability, and it's so pleasant to see that we were ahead of the game on this issue as well. And some of these early concerns from the field from its very beginnings are now it's basically the name of the day. I mean, after all, at the moment we have the discussion about environmental sustainability taking place in Dubai. And as I said, in all of these things, IB was ahead of the game, and I think and I hope that US leaders of the future will be able to carry this flag. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you for giving us this very optimistic view. We are talking about the future of our field, our attendees of the webinar. That's how we see you. You are a future. No pressure now. You have to deliver. So thank you very much for this insight. And now I would like to, Maria Tereza, would you like to add anything else on the overview of the program, in addition to the slides that you have talked about?
Please go ahead, Hanna.
Okay, thank you. So Sumit, I will now hand over to you. And if you could talk us through, please, what exactly we can expect to be learning about on the program. So what is the program structure? What are the modules to choose from? Let me just share my screen. Hopefully it works. Can you see it? Can you see my screen? Okay. So Sumit, if you could tell us about the the substance of the program, please. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Hanna. Thank you. So I'm going to touch upon a few things this morning, talking about the program overview, the module breakdowns, and program expectations. So this is basically provides a PhD level type of training, and we have different modules and workshops looking at content and methods training, as well as career development opportunities. And one of the important aspects which was emphasized just in a few minutes back was the issue of networking, which is very important. I'll come back to later. So this is a AIB-CIBER International Business Certificate of Completion, which will be given to you all once you have finished this program. And the program runs for about 2 years, 2 years. And the best part, which I mentioned earlier, is that you'll be exposed to the world, the leading scholars. And the way we have structured or designed this program, we have leading professors and experts and scholars from Georgia State University, Michigan State University, University of Leeds, University of Groningen, Aalto University, National University of Singapore, and others. Next slide. So can we move to the next slide? Yeah, thank you. So we have it's a 2-year program, and as you can see from the slide that the year one basically is between October and December when the Doctoral Academy is launched. Hanna mentioned about the first cohort, and we had the orientation a couple of weeks ago, and now we are looking for the second cohort. And so basically the actual program begins in January. So for the first cohort, the program, the content-wise, will start in January 2024. And there are 3 modules. And the first module basically is the core, because in any research paper, as you can understand, there are 2 elements in research paper. One is called the front end, and one is called the back end. The front end is the theory development. You have the theory part, the conceptual model, the hypothesis, and the back end is the research methodology part. So it is our intent to make sure that both these parts are covered in a way that you get exposed to the history and the evolution of the IB discipline, because as Professor Pitelis was mentioning, that this is a field which has been there for 50+ years now. Of course, we all attest to the fact that Heimer's dissertation at MIT in 1960 laid the foundation of the theory of multinational enterprise. But of course, I mean, since then, of course, many things has evolved with time, and that is the beauty of international business, that it is a very dynamic field. Things are changing rapidly. I mean, nowadays we talk about emerging markets, which was never thought about. Many years ago, we talked about third world multinationals, but now we're talking about emerging market multinationals. So the first 3 modules, talks about that in terms of the history, the theory, the future, and of course, methods. Methods is very important. And it is nowadays, what I find, because since I review papers and I serve as editors for journals, methods have become very sophisticated. So you had initially in a cross-sectional time series type of work, but nowadays you're talking about qualitative study. And there is something called qualitative comparative analysis, the fuzzy set, So I think you get exposed to many aspects of methods also. Then, of course, we have the modules 4, 5, 6, primarily looking at a variety of interests which you have. It is what you are doing, in your field of study. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, this complements your area of expertise. If you're a finance major or accounting major or a marketing major or a management major, you are taking this IB certificate to add on. This is a value addition, value creation for you. So that you'll be more marketable, not only in terms of your career building, but also to the network which you're going to have, people from different backgrounds, which helps us to launch new papers, new research ideas, initiatives, And I think that is the beauty of it. So in module 4, 5, and 6, as you can see, that there are many elements we are covering. Because historically IB is what? IB is a interdisciplinary field. So I mean, though the roots are in economics, But over the years, it has grown into other areas. And as I mentioned earlier on, nowadays, we are talking about international relations, sociology, economic geography, psychology, anthropology. So many areas, has played a role in shaping the multinational enterprise, because multinational enterprise is like a black box. It's a black box. There are many facets, which we don't understand. And so to unravel the black box, you have to have a good understanding of other fields. And what Chris Pitelis and Professor Pitelis was mentioning was about the sustainability and the innovation and gender diversity, equity. These are some new areas which are surfacing, but very important, of paramount importance. I think if you're interested in that area, you can see in Module 8, you have something on gender diversity research in IB, sustainability research in IB. So I think, it all adds to you whatever your interests are. But having said that, as a academic, research is an important element, but teaching is also very important, right? We are hired to teach, and with this undergraduate teaching or graduate teaching or PhD level teaching, you have to be a good teacher. And suddenly we have a module 7, which talks about teaching in IB also. It's equally very important, I think, because at the end of the day, you have to be a good teacher. It is just not about creation of knowledge, but also dissemination of knowledge. That's very important. At the end of the day, how do you create a knowledge which is relevant, meaningful, which has societal impact? I think those are the things which we have to keep in mind. And then, of course, most of these things are basically, it is 15 hours. Most of them will be held in workshops, webinar format, taught by the leading scholars around the world, whether they are in Europe or North America or Asia, wherever they are. And of course, they will be referring to many articles, many good books, journal papers, So you will be getting the state of the art, the cutting edge knowledge from these people. And of course, it requires a fair amount of work also, right? So though most of these modules are about 2 to 3 weeks with 15-hour duration, but again, you have to prepare for them. And that preparation time could be anywhere from 30 hours and beyond. So I think, given the fact that, yes, certainly, it is very intense, and that's the word I use. But it's worth it. Really, it's worth it, because you are getting exposed to the leading scholars of the field. Even though for 15 hours, but it's a privilege, it's a blessing, it's an opportunity to get to know these people who are doing research and publishing in the top tier journals. So you're getting the best of the minds come to here, so that you can interact with them at a professional meeting, whether it's the AIB or IBA or what have you, right? So I think this is a great opportunity for you to sign up for this program, because here you'll be learning a lot, and nothing goes to waste in life. This is my my word of advice. And I always tell my doctoral students, since I teach a PhD course on theory in IB, which is the first course we teach here in FIU, that research is a journey. Research is a journey, travel it well. So I think in this process, you'll be learning a lot, and you'll be exposed to new ideas, and you will be creating a network which will include the panelists out here. They have all different perspectives on any given idea. They have a subject expertise. So I think it's a win-win combination for you all. So I think you are in good hands. So don't hesitate. My advice, don't hesitate. This is a great time to sign up for this program, because one thing which, from my perspective, personally, I like diversity. I'm from India myself, lived in America for close to 40 years, and I live in Miami, which is a very, culturally diverse place, So I value diversity. I love diversity, because people from different parts of the world, we are called, Miami is called the gateway to Latin America, because I have many Latin students out here, right? But I learn from them. And I can say that, well, India and Latin America has a lot of commonality out there. So I think, this is something beautiful, which I think is international business all about, getting the cultural aspects, economic aspects, strategy aspects, HR aspects, management aspects, finance aspects, accounting aspects, you name it. It's all over the place, but let's make it happen. You are the next generation, and I think you can do it. You are in good hands, And I love to see you, at some point, see you in, hopefully next year, in AIB conference in Seoul, South Korea, or if you're interested, please to come to IBA in Lisbon, Portugal, in December, so which is in a couple of weeks' time, if time permits, So I think we are in good shape, and I think this is a great program. And if you have any questions, I would like to hear some of the questions from you so that I can answer the questions and all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sumit, and thank you for reminding us that there is an opportunity to ask questions. So if you could be, I can see that some people started posting their questions, so please include them in question and answer area there, and we will answer them shortly. We'll read them out and answer shortly. You mentioned so many important aspects, Sumit, including that it's a very esteemed faculty that are involved in this doctoral academy. The program was delivered by the program was designed by top people in international business, top scholars, and it will be delivered by top scholars. So if I could just mention the academics who will be teaching on the program, for example, the current cohort will have sessions with Professor Peter Buckley, with Professor Tamir Kavusgil, who is one of the key architects of the Doctoral Academy and who is the Dean of the Academy of International Business Fellows at the moment. Professor Andrew Delios, Professor Rebecca Piekary, Professor Sjoerd Bugelsdijk. These are really the leaders in our fields of international business. So it's an excellent opportunity to interact with the leading names. I just mentioned people involved in core modules, but of course there are many more academics involved in the program. Also the opportunity to network by attending international conferences, but also by interacting with these key scholars in international business. When you actually go to the conferences, you will already have people to talk to because you will have met them online, and it will be much easier to come up and speak to them since you have already met. Not to mention meeting your fellow students from all over the world who will be also likely attending these conferences. So it's a great way to ease you into the world of international business research or the world of academia more generally, because you will have met all these people before you go to the conferences, which is a great advantage. So, and Sumit, you already mentioned about the time commitment as well, that it is 15 hours per module, and also that, you know, it requires your time investment, but it is time very well spent, that we can vouch for that. All of us who are here, we strongly believe that this is a time very well spent. So since you have heard about the structure, you have heard about the advantages, I just want to say a few words about how you can actually apply before we can move on to answering your questions. So what are the requirements of the application? First of all, I'll start from deadlines. It's good to have deadlines in mind so we can focus our mind. So the applications will be open, the admissions will be open for applications between 1st of June and 15th of July next year. And the acceptance decisions will be made by 15th of September. We will be also holding a number of events to tell you more about the Doctoral Academy, including that there will be sessions devoted to Doctoral Academy during the next Academy of International Business World meeting in Seoul in South Korea. So look out for these. But anyway, these are your dates. If you are considering to apply for the second cohort of the Doctoral Academy, these are the dates to bear in mind. Now, what is it that will be expected from you when you are applying? There will be a standard application form, no surprises there. That's the usual practice when you apply anywhere. But then you will also be asked to submit a letter of recommendation from your advisor, supervisor, or your doctoral program director. And then you will need to write a statement of purpose. So why are you actually interested in applying, and how can participating in the Doctoral Academy can advance your academic career? You will be also asked to submit your academic CV, and this should also include the doctoral level courses and any international conferences attended, and anything else that would be relevant to your application to tell us who you are. And this brings me to the final, the most exciting part of your application. you will be asked to submit a short video in English, introducing yourself and discussing academic research interests. I was involved in admissions of the current cohort on the program, and I have to say that I found this part most enjoyable in reviewing your applications, because these short video clips really gave us an insight into who you are as people, as academics, and it gave us an excellent insight into what are your motivations. What are your motivations of joining the Doctoral Academy? So this is in short what you will be expected to submit. When we started the webinar, I have posted a link to the website of the Doctoral Academy. And if you follow that link, you will be able to find more detailed information on the admissions process. But this is generally what you will be expected to do. And now, what are your chances of succeeding to get onto the Doctoral Academy? You can see here a note from the admissions committee. When assessing your suitability for the academy, we will consider the strength of your application as a whole, and in particular, your academic background, professional experience, and motivation to join the Doctoral Academy. So you will be expected to provide the rationale for choosing this program and how it will enhance your career. So you see, this is what is very much at heart of this program. This is something to help you develop your academic career. And you could be international business students, but you could easily and equally be students in other business areas. And you can see on this slide here, we are open to business school PhD students in mainstream functional areas, strategy, marketing, finance, information systems, and of course, international business, as well as students in other social sciences, psychology, economics, international relations, sociology, and political science. So you don't have to be an international business PhD student to apply. But of course, equally, being international business student, that does not prevent you from applying. To the contrary, it's a very valuable addition to your degree in international business. So I think I'll stop here in terms of practical information. I have already included the details on of our website in the chat, so hopefully you can access it through there. We also have our admissions administrator. We've got our program administrator, Miss Eva Kule, and if you use this email address, she will be happy to answer any of your questions as well. Sumit also mentioned that we are planning that, we are going to all these major conferences. So some of us are going to the EBA conference, the European Academy of International Business. We are all going to Seoul in South Korea next summer. So feel free to come and talk to us when you see us at the conferences, and we'll be happy to discuss with you further. So I can see now, is there anything else that the panelists would like to add to what we just discussed before we move to the question and answer? Is there anything further?
My only advice would be to the participants today that this is a great program. Sign up for it. Don't hesitate. Because this is the best investment you can make. Here we are, as I mentioned earlier, that we are trying to attract the best students from around the world. So time is of the essence, and it's time to make it happen.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Sumit. So now let me look. There are a number of questions in the chat. So I will start from the last question, actually. So are DBA candidates eligible? Yes, by all means, DBA candidates can apply. Then we've got, will students doing fellow program management from India business schools be considered for the program? Sumit, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, certainly. The fellow programs are at the IIMs in international management. Certainly, I encourage the fellow programs, the IIMs, to sign up for this program. I visit IIMs all the time, and so it would be a good, I think, addition to see a few fellow students from the IIMs participate in the AIB-CIBER Doctoral Academy.
Excellent. Thank you, Sumit. And now I've got a question here. Thank you for the overview of the program. Is the registration for January still open? Fanis Ambusi from Kenya. No, unfortunately, Fanis, the registration for current intake is closed. The students have already started their program, but you are very welcome to apply to our second cohort. And as I mentioned, the applications will be open in the summer. So the specific dates for applications are, let me just remind myself, it's between 1st of June and 15th of July 2024. So you cannot apply to the first cohort anymore. However, you can apply to the second one. Now, we've got a question about the cost implications. Maria Tereza mentioned to us in the beginning, it's $3,000. That's the fee to enroll. And we also have some financial help available. Maria Tereza, you told us about
Godwin
stipend.
But we have other funding possibilities.
Indeed, but the cost is $3,000 to enroll. Okay, and then what else we have? We've got a question. May I ask if active doctoral student status is required for the full 2 years? You should definitely be a doctoral student when you are applying, and this is something that should help you with your doctoral status and beyond, with your doctoral studies and beyond. So I would say a good time for you to take part would be from your second year onwards. And I'm giving a very generic answer because I'm also very conscious of the fact that the doctoral programs are structured differently depending on where in the world you are. So I would consider applying for this program after you passed your initial PhD proposal. So for example, in the UK, this would mean PhD transfer. When you formally had your PhD project approved, in the UK, that would be after the first year. So I would recommend from the second year onwards. In some other countries, Sumit, in the US, it would be, you've got much more structured training on the program, on the PhD program. So is it after the second year that students would have their PhD proposals approved?
That is correct. So in the US model, the first 2 years is dedicated coursework. And the courseworks are very formalized. And then only you are eligible to take the comprehensive exam. So yes, and of course, once you pass the comprehensive exam, then only you are allowed to start to work on your PhD dissertation.
That's right. So,
yes, in Brazil and even in France, it's similar, Hanna. So it depends. And I think it will be good for you to talk with other professors and with Eva, and so we can suggest what time it is the best time for you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Maria Tereza, that of course, it's a good idea to discuss with the supervisors. They are the key points that work with you on your PhD. So definitely supervisors, and then Eva, who is our program administrator, I'm sure she would be able to answer these questions based on specific context of your application. That's a very good point. So now we've got one more question. Could you please discuss the feasibility of opening the first 3 modules of the Doctoral IB Academy to all PhD students in international business and AIB members? This could greatly benefit the wider international business academic community.
If I may answer,
yes.
it is a suggestion, but we have to discuss and decide via the governing board, so I think we can discuss it, but nowadays, no.
Yeah, it's a big operation.
Yeah. But we can discuss for the future.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a big operation, isn't it, to organize this program and to manage the program. So of course, it also, the number of people who attend affects the experience on the program. So yeah, but something to consider, isn't it? Okay, so now more questions. So we had the DBA question answered. Is there any waiving for fee or decreasing of scholarship for participants for the total fee? Well, this depends on your circumstances. So just, submit your application. And as Maria Tereza already mentioned, we have some financial assistance available. But, this is, you need to submit your application and we can discuss there. Maria Tereza, would you like to add anything?
No, I think there are several alternatives, but we have to discuss your case, another case, and so on.
Yeah, because this would be...
If you need more information, I suggest you to write to Eva, because she can give you more.
Indeed. And then, do early career researchers who have completed PhD last year can apply? Would anyone have any views on that? Would early career researchers who have completed PhD last year can apply?
So my take on this is that this thing has not been addressed by the governing board. So this has to be discussed by the governing board. At this point in time, it is only open to the doctoral students. This is the AIB-CIBER Doctoral Academy. And so once we have more clarity after discussion, we can get back to you.
Thank you, Sumit. Next question. Maria Tereza, did you want to say something?
No, I agree with Sumit.
At the moment, it's for doctoral students only.
Yeah, but I think that we can discuss.
Yeah, these are interesting. Yeah, interesting ideas, actually, all these questions.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of
yes, plenty of food for thought.
Interesting ideas worth discussing. Very many interesting ideas. And then Mohammed is raising some very interesting questions as well. And also the next question is also about if you can apply if you have just finished the PhD, and it's very much worth discussing this. Very much, very bright, very good ideas.
Yeah, thank you indeed. Thank you, Mohammed, for sending these through as well. You are basically talking about the implications for doctoral programs, aren't you? So, but that's very interesting insights. Maybe we've got time for one final question, and we'll be concluding shortly. But let me just read it out. So I find that these are interesting opportunities, but sadly, you find that our institutions in Africa do not have the funds to support our ambition of attending AIB conferences as well as the doctoral program. So this is the issue of funding. I mean, again, apply to the program, and these are on the funding is on competitive basis, and you never know, you might get the funding. And also in terms of attending conferences, if you attend, for example, the Academy of International Business Conference, the World Meeting, there is very vibrant pre-conference program. And one aspect of this program is a doctoral consortium. So if you are accepted to this doctoral consortium, you can then apply for travel stipend to attend the annual meeting. So there are various funding opportunities that go beyond just financial support from your home institution. So definitely have a look at the Academy of International Business website and look out for the AIB-CIBER Foundation Doctoral Consortium. So I'm sure soon you will find a call for that consortium, and you will also have information on funding opportunities. So look out for that.
And if I may add, Hanna, you can look for the regional conference For example, in December, we'll have a MENA conference in Morocco. So we'll have, different places around the world that you can join AIB.
Indeed, there are all the chapters. It's very active. It's very active association in international business, isn't it? So it's truly global. AIB is truly global by the subject matter, but also by membership and all the activities that it involves. So this is all the time we've got for in terms of questions, but please do feel free to get in touch. The contact details, you will find them on our website. And I just wanted to ask for some concluding remarks from our panelists. So if I could start with you, Chris, just the final words to leave us with about the Doctoral Academy.
Well, just apply. And we hope that you will join us, and we hope that you will be part of our community. It's a lovely community, and focusing on the very important grand challenges of today.
Thank you, Chris. Sumit, over to you. Concluding remarks.
Thank you, Hanna. Thank you. My fellow colleagues, hopefully you'll be fellow colleagues, at some point. Please do apply. This is a unique opportunity. As I mentioned earlier, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity being presented to you, and whereby you get to see some of the leading minds from around the world, whether Latin America or Europe or Asia, and this is something which is a value addition for you. You may have a training in finance or accounting or strategy or marketing, but international is the core. I think nowadays nothing can be spoken about, beyond, domestic, which is you have to embrace the international aspects, and what a way, fine way to get to, learn about international business and how the world is changing rapidly. Because one thing that clearly is of fascinating to me, over the years, has been the vibrancy, the dynamism, and the diversity aspects, So yes, certainly, I echo, Professor Pitelis' sentiments. Apply. You have a lot to gain. This is a win-win situation for you. And this is an opportunity that I truly believe is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. 2 years of investment will not go to waste at all. And very importantly, you will make some lifelong friends. Networking, very important. Ultimately, that's what we all build upon. In a span of 30 to 40 years of career in academia, you feel that, yes, from the time when I was a PhD student, to where I am today, 30 years has gone by. But I made a lot of good friends around the world. So go for it, my friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sumit. And I will leave the final word to Madam President, Maria Tereza, please.
Thank you, Hanna. Thank you, Chris and Sumit. It was such a pleasure. And thank you for attending this webinar. And as my colleagues mentioned before, I think that you will develop skills, competence, but you will make new friends for your life, and it really matters. So welcome to the club, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Maria Tereza. Thank you very much to everyone for attending. Thank you for your insightful questions and comments. We will capture all of them in the records of this webinar. So thank you for sharing your ideas with us. We look forward to meeting you at the conferences. We look forward to receiving your applications. We sincerely hope that you will consider applying to the Doctoral Academy. Remember, you are our future, so we are counting on you. Thank you so much. And before I disconnect, I'm just going to paste, just to be sure, I'm going to paste just in the chat the contact details. So I have shown them before, but this is your first point of contact in terms of anything to do with practical side of applying to the Doctoral Academy. Programs at AIB.msu.edu. So please take a note of that. Thank you so much to everyone attending, and I hope you have a good day, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on which part of the world you join us from. So customary Zoom wave to everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.